Streamlabs using the link.
I don't know. In that case, let's do this. Wrong one. Helps if I put the right intro on, really, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. You're better off putting the intro in rather than the outro or anything like that.
Yeah, I pressed it and went, oh, I don't know. Hello, everybody. Is everybody all right? Let's have a look. Hi, Noreen. Oh, well, apart from the fact that we're knackered today, Josh, I think, is at college. So Josh will be as and when he can. But how is everybody? How's everybody coping with this megalomaniac that's trying to take over the world at the moment? You know, he wants to buy Gaza.
I'd be more concerned with Starmer myself, but there you go.
Starmer's a prick, but no, I've been watching it and like, he wants to buy Gaza. He said he wants Canada to be the 51st state, and it's taken the onus off of what's been going on at Antarctica. I've noticed there's always.
Thing is, you said the same thing about Greenland as well.
There's stuff going on. I don't know if he's flexing his muscles or because he's in now or what. But hello from Canada, Joanne Stewart. We were just talking about Canada. Yeah, what have you done your hand? Have you been wanking off an Oompa Loompa?
That one's not so bad. But, yeah, that was doing Ellen's fake tan last night.
Did you forget to wash your hands?
No, I just using the glove that's provided. It's just an absolute waste of space, and it's come through the glove anyway. Yeah, so
you were doing Ellen's fake tan.
Well, how's Ellen going to do her back?
Well, what I'm thinking now, show us your hands again. Show us your hands again. Has Ellen got two handprints, one on each hip?
No.
You see all these kids?
But, yeah.
I tell you what, I'm going to message Ellen and say, has he got an orange willy at the moment? Do you know, I can remember doing that when I was a kid.
What, having an orange willy? Show wanking an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah. When I was a kid, Mum had this fake Avon, fake tan stuff, because she used to work for Avon. And because I was a redhead, you know, and I never ever used to get a tan. So I can remember sneaking into Mum's bedroom, and I was about 8 years old, 7, 8 years old at the time, and I got this tan stuff. And of course, I didn't know anything about gloves or sponges or any shit like that. And I got this damn stuff, and it was white. It was white stuff, and I put it all over my face and my ears and my neck and up my arms and that. And I was like, "Yeah, no, I look fine." Next day, I looked like a fucking what's it. And
Ellen was
2 weeks.
Ellen was more worried about streaks. She's going, "Have I got any streaks?" I went, "Look at the state of my hands."
Is it work? So she's got a decent tan.
I haven't noticed it, to be honest.
Fucking notice it on your hands, mate.
Exactly. Do you know, you're supposed to, it has 3 tones. So you leave it on for an hour, then wash it off for 1 tone, then 2 hours for the next tone, and then 3 hours for the tone after that.
But that doesn't include your hand.
That had been on all night. So, of course, when I went to wash it off, he didn't do nothing.
Take your ring off a minute. Let's have a look.
It's not, you don't really notice it so much.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do. Oh, dear.
I was told toothpaste gets it off, so.
Toothpaste.
Yeah. Apparently, it's quite a good good thing to use. So
toothpaste actually, and when you get car headlights and they're starting to go dull, the glass toothpaste. I've done it myself. It cleans them up.
Yeah.
And other hints and tips that you learn on this show. Yeah.
Yeah. WD-40 as well. Apparently.
I have to use WD-40 on my metal leg every now and again because oh, I'm there. Sometimes I'll be walking along and you'll just say, it's squirty time. Anyway, welcome to the show. It is myself and Mr. Wayne tonight. Josh is, as I said, he's got college, so you got to put up with us two Brits tonight.
That's two.
Two Brits tonight. So, well, technically, I'm Irish. I have that Irish nationality, but hey, everybody across the world who watches this, you got to put up with this. And the British sense of humour. So nothing is sacred, and we take the piss out of everything. So, Keir Starmer. Anyway, he is.
Who?
Keir Starmer, fucking knobhead. Anyway, I see that one of the things that we has been going on in the UF world at the moment is all the full disclosure and all the extra videos and stuff that we're going to start coming out. Where the fuck are they? There's been lots of whistleblowers who've come out at the Dark Beauty show. Oh, sounds like a horse. The stuff that actually, then again, I don't want to know about horses. His missus told me it's like a baby's arm on a couple of jaffers, and that's just his first finger. So all this stuff that was going to happen, and the whistleblowers. I've watched a lot of the whistleblower stuff. I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. They're all saying, yes, there's been this. Yes, there's been that. I've been a part of it. I can tell you this, and I can tell you that, and I can tell you, honestly, that this, and this. Okay, that's cool. That's good. But where's the photographs? Where's the videos? That's the only way you're going to get anybody to get some validity behind it, because you could get anybody off the street and say, look, just read this out for me for $1,000. What do you make of it?
I don't know, because I haven't really heard or seen much lately about disclosure or these whistleblowers. It just seems to have gone quiet.
It went boom, and then it went
just imploded. And I think because of that, we're now looking at even actually on some social media, the level of UFO videos that are out there are starting to get quite scarce, and it's almost as if the FYP section of TikTok has been deliberately moved or changed so it doesn't show any more of these or as much of them. It's almost as if there's been a global shutdown of all these videos and information.
It seems very, what's the word I want? Almost orchestrated. All this stuff comes out. There's all this, it's going to be this and it's going to be that. And they did it the same last year. We were going to have this and we were going to have that. And they were going to say this and they were going to say that. And this was going to come out and that was going to come out. And it went, and it just seems that I think it was used personally. Hi, Rita. Hi, Sam. I think a lot of it was used to boost voting agendas across the pond, personally, because when that was all going on, a certain orange-faced Oompa Loompa was going on all the shows, the Joe Rogan show and everything like that, saying how they were going to do this and they were going to do that, and they were going to bring this up and they were going to bring that up, and they were going to say about this and they were going to say about that, and they were going to do full transparency. And now nothing. They've literally got a nylon-haired orange tan. In fact, have you been doing his tan? Have you been doing his fucking facial tan? Is that what that is?
Well, you know.
You went up to him, didn't you? Went, no, tell the truth. And then you came back and went, oh, shit. But it really does seem to me that this was all happening as this was gearing up. And I've read a lot of things, and a lot of the whistleblowers, they're real people, and they have done this stuff and they have done that stuff. And I've seen, you know, we've seen some really good videos, but it does seem that it ramped to a crescendo just before it was he won the election, and then since he won the election and has gone in, it's gone really, really quiet. It may be just me putting 2 and 2 together and coming out with 5, but
it seems, I don't know actually. If I could put a date on it, I would say it will be from when TikTok was banned in the US. From then onwards, the amount of UFO videos and whistleblowers that were getting stuff put on TikTok seemed to drop completely until next to nothing. And now you only get the odd 1 or 2 little bits of, in a way, non-essential information. Nothing groundbreaking or sort of revealing. It's just gone back to the same old stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you seem to be getting a lot there. There's one person, she goes live on a regular basis, and she's literally constantly saying it's a UFO, but it's a light in the sky that is there all the time. It doesn't move, it doesn't flicker, it doesn't do anything. And yet every time she goes live, it's there. And I'm thinking to myself, hang on a minute, you're pointing your camera at a city skyline. That to me says that's probably the tallest building in that city skyline, and therefore it's got a light on the top of it. Bit like Canary Wharf.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of videos going around about 3 different UFOs floating about, and when you look at it and watch the videos, and especially ones taken from planes, but when you watch the videos, it's planets, and you can see as the plane comes around, you can see the 2 of the planets moving. One of them isn't, I don't think. I think one possibly is either another plane or it could be UFO. I don't know. But the other 2 things in the sky, you can see as it moves, these 2 things are. So it's got fixed position. So
I mean, up until there was a fair bit where people were pointing the cameras up at the skies and going, "Oh, look at that! I've never seen that light there." And what they don't realise is that I think it was about January the 27th, 28th. There was a 5 or 6 of our planets were in line with each other.
Celestial alignment.
So you got that celestial alignment, but the days leading up to it and the days after it, they will be all over the place. They won't be in a line, but they'll be there and they'll be doing the circuit. So these people are videoing what they think is a UFO actually turns out to be a planet, because it's coinciding with the time of the year and the exact time that celestial alignment is about to begin.
Yeah. To be honest, we said on one of the shows before Christmas that this was coming up and that this would happen, and I said, didn't we? And we sort of bet you people are going to start saying, "Oh, UFOs." It wasn't just everything's in alignment, and it's a once in a few thousand years occasion, you know. But
the problem is, I think the problem is a lot of people they're armed with a mobile phone, and they'll go outside and they'll start filming, and they will jump on anything. The second they see something that they haven't seen or noticed before, they go, "Ooh, look at that! They're amazing! I better video it." So straight away they've got their phone out and they start looking. I mean, as a kid, I used to have a telescope. And I was constantly just looking around the night sky.
Thank you, Sam.
and straight away you can see something, and you're like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, interesting." But because the telescope wasn't powerful enough,
Yeah.
all you could see was this flickering, and it didn't dawn on me or occur to me at the time that it was an aircraft, and it was the flight path for Stansted Airport. So,
did you see the picture I sent you of the triangle?
Yeah.
See,
that was awesome.
Well, I literally stopped. I saw it as I was coming home from my daughter. For those of you who don't know, I think I showed it last week. Let me have a very quick look on it. I took a photograph of a black triangle, and it was. This is the unfocused. That's the unfocused picture. And then what I did, Shiza, that was it focused in. Yeah. And then I took you can't fucking see it, can you? Hang on. There you are. I'll turn the brightness up so you can see it a bit more. Right. There's triangle up there, and you'll see another star down here. Now, the thing was, with this triangle, I pulled in to have a look because Wayne and I, we've been down at Wrensham Forest and I've seen the same damn thing, the exact same thing. In fact, Sam, who's in the chat now, and her other half Mark were there as well. I can't remember if they saw it or not, but they were definitely at the filming. Had they gone off to get the lights? I think Mark saw it, didn't he?
No, I think it was the other young lads that were with us that night. They were off to get the lights, didn't they? And we all stayed there, but everybody else was busy looking around the forest, and we were just sitting there looking straight up at the sky. And we started noticing the lights either side of the clearing. And it wasn't until after the first 5 lot of lights had gone that the triangle appeared and you took the picture of it.
That's right. Well, for those of you who don't know, I mean, we've said this story so many times. We were there doing a filming for Wayne and Samantha and Mark's other thing, TVP, isn't it? Truth Beyond Paranormal.
Yeah, Truth Beyond Paranormal.
And we were doing a UFO thing. So, of course, they had to get the aliens guy, which is moi, along to come and spout some stuff about it. So I did. Sam, that's just what I'm talking about. She said, Mark, this is similar to Rendlesham. Oh, listen! We were just saying that triangle that I took a picture of the other day is identical to the one that we saw above the hollow where the UFO is in Wrensham Forest. If you go to Wrensham Forest, there's a monument and they've built a UFO, and above it is the hollow, and it's right in the hollow. So you can look above, and it was perfect circle, squidgy circle. And above it, there was it 3 UFOs went over and closely followed by jets?
No, it was 2 went from west to east,
and 1 would
both at the same time. Then there was 1 either side of the forest clearing that was static and then just disappeared. And then there was 1 in the east that went from south to north in a wavy pattern.
That's right.
And then there was the big triangle, and then straight after that, the 2 fighter jets flew over in an easterly direction.
Well, it was after that we had taken a break, and we were just looking up, and then all of a sudden I went, "Oh yeah, why? What the fuck's that?" And this triangle had appeared just out of nowhere, and it was stratosphere, so it easily stratosphere. It had to have been as big as 4 or 5 football pitches, wasn't it?
Easily.
It was. This thing was huge, and it was identical to this thing I saw the other day. And back to that story, I was driving back from my daughter's. We live on the northeast coast of Yorkshire, right by the beach, and my daughter lives about an hour's drive away. And so I went down to see Taylor, came back, and as I'm coming back, I'm driving up this hill. It's a very clear night, no clouds, no stars, and full moon. And I'm driving up, and I looked, and I was like, what the hell's that? No, that can't be. So I pulled into a lay-by, and those pictures that you see, I took a picture of. And the only stars that were in the sky were that one that was in that other picture, and there was a few sort of over to the right. Now, this triangle was up in the sky. I checked it because I messaged my missus and said, what do you think this is? And there is a triangle star system that is visible with the naked eye from Earth but you can't see it like that. It's tiny, and you have to use a telescope to be able to see it properly. So it wasn't that. I ruled that out, and I looked at all the others that are about, but you can only see them in other places in the world, not from England. There's only one you can see in the UK, and it wasn't that. Triangulus, I think it's called, or something like that. But yeah, and this thing here, I was like, well, it's not that, it's not this, and it's not that. And I'm going on my phone and I'm looking up everything, because whenever we see stuff, we don't just go, alien, UFOs, fuck me. We don't do that. We look at everything and go, oh, all right, hang on, is there anything in the sky? Right, we're in north, and we look it all up, and we look at all the flight maps and everything before we say, oh yeah, it's this, that, and the other. And there was nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, we had something similar. We were taking Ellen's mum home after Ellen's birthday, and we saw something in the sky, and we were like, what the hell is that? That's really weird. And then when we stopped at Ellen's mum's house, I got me star.
Was it your mum's broomstick? Was it Ellen's mum's broomstick?
She's on the phone to Ellen. And we stopped at her house, and I accessed the app, and I put it up to the sky to see what it was. And that was when we had, I think it was Venus, and one of the others was sort of in that area at the time.
Yeah,
Mars and Venus.
You always tell Mars because it is slightly red. When you look at the light, it's like orangey red.
And it came up on the screen that Mars was there, and we're like, well, that's the right direction. If we go back to the point where you saw it in that direction, that will be Mars. And we're like, there's your answer, and it stood out.
Yeah.
But it weren't there before. And I'm like, well, that's the reason why, because it's a planet.
And they cut the like those aircraft videos where, like I say, when the pilot banks and turns, two of the things bank and move with him exactly. It's only one of the things that doesn't. So two of them were planets or stars, but I don't know what the other one was. But there's so much misinformation that's being put out there now. Ever since all this horse shit with the orange one getting into power, all the ramp up with it. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to check that. Yeah, fuck off. You've done nothing. Exactly the same as the wanker in charge of this country. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Listen, posh boy, you've done fuck all. So, fuck them all off out of it. Excuse my language. I get very heated when it comes to politics because I think they're all money-grabbing bastards who've got nothing better to do than look after themselves and not the country.
So under the current issues that people are having in this country at the moment, we're saying things like that. It looks like in the next week or so, I might be doing the show on my own because Mark might get bolted up in prison.
Oh, yeah, because they've all suddenly gone... you can't say anything, can you? Isn't that draconian? If I remember rightly, it used to be back in the Dark Ages. You couldn't say anything.
I think it's also called dictatorship.
Yeah,
like removing local elections. They claim for restructuring, and
Magna Carta.
I say it's restructuring, but here in North Essex, they are thinking of merging Essex, Suffolk and Norfolk councils into one. So we're going to have some muppet in Norfolk tell us what to do in Essex.
Well, the thing is when you look into the Magna Carta, there is a thing written in there, and it says, and it's law. You can't change it. And it says in there that if you are not governing, if the people aren't being governed properly by whatever is in power, the people can turn around and rise up against. They are allowed to, and it's in the Magna Carta. It's in our ancient law. So,
yeah. But then, of course, you've got the likes of the Reform Party are turning around and saying the only reason why Labour are doing this is because now that Reform Party has got over 200,000 members, they are now polling higher than Labour and Conservatives, and Labour are scared that they will take more seats, and that's why they've done this with the places. Because Essex is one of the biggest Reform Party holds in the country, and they know full well that if they lose that seat, that's going to cause too much trouble for them, and they already lost it in the general election.
They're rigging it, and it's the same as any bloody lot that get in. They always rig the system in their own favour, and every single thing. I can remember every single party or every single person that said, "I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that." I think it's over the last 30 years. Every single thing that they promised they'd do, it went. And it's every single one of them every single promise got fucked off out of it, and they've done the same thing again. And again, it's a posh boy in charge who thinks he knows better and knows how to deal with people who come from council houses, council estates, poor, don't have a lot of money. You know, me, my late mum, you know, we lived on the biggest council estate in the UK. You know, my other ass, she comes from one of the roughest bits of Scarborough, even though she's Poshberg now, don't you know? Kick. So, Rachel, if you're watching this, I love you. That thing about Kate, when we were at Wayne's, it was your birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was his birthday party. Now, what we don't realise, because like I've got a London accent and Wayne has and all that lot. When we say cake, we say cake, right? What it?
London?
It's more fucking London than Yorkshire, isn't it?
You're more London than I am. I'm Colchester. That's like 53 miles from London.
Say cake.
Cake.
See? And we were talking about it, and remember? And Rachel said, "You lot all say cake," and he goes, "No, we don't." And he sat there going, "Cake." Oh my God, we
Cake.
do. And then turn around to Rachel, because she's got broad Yorkshire accent, and she goes, "Cake," like that.
Cake.
And that's where it's all from. Because she says cake, I say cake. That we're always taking, me and her are always taking the mick out of each other. But yeah, this whole shit with Starmer and everything. You've got a posh boy who's, and I noticed that Starmer, one of his friends when he was younger, was a Mr. Savile, who was friends with our current king, and they were all friends. That's something.
The thing is as well is that he stood there in Parliament and had a go at Boris Johnson for breaking down lockdown rules. And now it turns out he was just as bad by hiring a failed actress to give him vocal lessons. Now, I'm sorry, he was a lawyer, somebody that stands up in court and questions people, and so he has like his own floor show. So why does he need a vocal coach?
Because the man's a knob.
Exactly.
He has no clue what's going on in the world.
Convictions regards to the lockdown can only be in existence for 3 years, and then they're null and void. Why is that? If you can be convicted of a crime, say unaliving somebody, right, and you can be convicted of that 20 years after the offence.
Even in America, they have statute of limitations. So, Nico, he's not posh. He's the son of a tool maker. Take maker off the end of that, and you've got the son. He's an idiot. I'm sorry, he's an idiot. He has no clue what's going on. He's got no clue about immigration. He's got no clue about the knife crime. He's got no clue about the gangs that are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And by that, I'm not going on a racist thing or anything like that. I mean proper gangs. I lived in London. I lived in Ealing. I know about the gangs. You know, I used to work around the corner from some of the biggest ones in London. So yeah, he's got zero clue, and all he wants to do is start locking up people for daring to speak out against him and these other. Just fuck off.
And how's this for a good conspiracy theory? All right, the reason why he isn't getting done for breaking lockdown rules is because it's down to the Metropolitan Police Commissioner to bring forward that injustice.
Yeah,
to the limelight and to him being charged. And who is the commissioner for the Metropolitan Police?
Well,
Sadiq Khan.
Yeah. Don't get me started about that wanker either.
So, of course, best buddies, they're going to stick together, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
You know, just a conspiracy theory that's been thrown out there. Don't shoot the messenger.
Well, some of the things that we talk about on here are very close to the knuckle. We have to be very careful about some of the things that we feel quite personal. From having lived in London, and I lived there for quite a while, several times over my lifetime, and I've seen it go from proper Jiminy, call blimey, Mary Poppins, Pearly Kings and Queens. Like, EastEnders are nice people. EastEnders are nice people. Londoners as a whole, we're nice people. Majority of Londoners are really nice people. And then I've watched over the years the gangs get bigger. The Yardies came in, the London accent went, and this crappy Mockney accent that everybody has now is because of when the Yardies came in. the local lads tried to emulate the Jamaican accent, and that's why he ended up with this "you got me" shit accent that everybody's got now. Nobody has a Cockney accent now, unless you go to certain parts of the East End. But it's gone from being a nice place. When I moved to Ealing, it was a nice leafy suburb. When I left Ealing, it went from no murders a year to one a week. The gangs got bigger, the drugs got bigger, and then you had loads of, and this is gonna be topical, but it's not meant. Loads of illegal immigrants came in, and then the police started going mad, arresting people for rape, murder, stabbing, shot up, and everything. And it was lots and lots of illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Now it's all to do with the gangs. And this guy who's in charge of our country thinks he's got his finger on the pulse and knows what's going on. He knows fuck all. His finger is his thumb. It's up his own ass.
The thing is, the mayor of London had been questioned about it all, and they're turning around and saying, "You're standing there saying that you're proud of London. London's a safe place." And then all of a sudden, she rattled out all these statistics on knife crime, gun crime, and all of that. Everything had increased under his watch, and yet he'd done nothing about it. And now it's been revealed by the same group in the mayor's chambers that he spent £925 million on trains from Spain 8 years ago, and they still haven't got them.
Do you
almost £1 billion on trains that we don't even have.
Yeah.
Evening, Gary.
Do you know, he went round trying to buy up churches in London, trying to buy them up and turn them into mosques. And he wondered why people turned around and went, "Hang on a minute, what's going on here? London's supposed to be for everybody, not." And this isn't a pop at any religion or anything, but he was trying to buy up loads of churches, loads of old buildings, and turn them into mosques. Now, excuse me if I'm wrong. I don't care if you're Muslim, Indian, Church of England, Catholic, agnostic, don't believe anything. It doesn't matter. That money's far better being spent on the fucking homeless who are out in the weather that we've got at the moment, rather than turning them into bloody mosques just for more people to come round and more hatred in that area to be spread because the people in the area didn't want a mosque. Wouldn't it make more sense to get some housing up for the homeless?
I mean, when I was coach driving, we got hired one day to take a group of Sikhs into London, and they had one of their Sikh temples, massive event, and they got us down there. They'd got a parking bay for me, all set aside. So when I turned up, they were all waving me down, telling me where I needed to go. I parked up, opened the door, and they all got off. And the organizer got off and went and spoke to somebody, and then they both came out and they said, "Do you want to come in and have some food?" And I said, well, yeah, I felt a bit out of place because obviously Sikh religion, and I felt, I shouldn't be disturbing on your festival. This is your festival, your time. And he went, no, everybody's welcome. Come on in. And they literally put me with this couple, and we went in there, and it was all done on buffet style, and everything literally was all laid on, and they just said, "Help yourself. You can have this, anything you want. Obviously, there's all these drinks here and all this food here. Help yourself." And by the time I got back to the coach, which was about an hour before they all come back out, I couldn't move. They kept pushing me with more and more food. But I asked them about the temple, because it's quite a big temple. And I said to him, where's, how did you go about getting this? And he said, this particular temple has taken a long time to have built, because what they did was, rather than buying up a building already the size they wanted, they just brought all the individual units, because it was on the edge of an industrial area. They brought all of the individual units when they became available, because these particular units were all on lease.
Yeah.
So some of them had like a 50-year lease or a 20-year lease. Well, once that lease was over, they put in a bid to buy the land once the lease had finished.
Yeah.
Then eventually, when the last piece of land was brought, they then pulled everything down and built their temple on the land, which to me is fair enough. That's the best way to do it, because they've not pushed it. onto a building that's already there that was already being used for other purposes, like a church. They've taken old industrial land that was only going to be bulldozed anyway and built their own temple on top of it.
Exactly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's like I said,
No.
don't get me wrong. None of us in here are knocking any religion, right? It doesn't matter what anybody's views are or anything. We're not going to sit here and knock religion or any race or color or whatever. But it takes the piss when you think about it that we've gone from you could walk in certain parts of these certain parts of London, certain parts of Yorkshire, Manchester, everywhere, and now there's bits of the country that the police will not go to because they're too scared, and it's run by their own law in that bit. I can name quite a few places.
It was like when we went to the War of the Worlds immersive experience.
Yeah.
Literally from Stratford Station right the way round to the venue, we were looking around all the time, weren't we? You could always hear a police siren somewhere.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
You didn't know what was round the corner. And you're like, oh, okay, this is not really weird and strange. You know, it just wasn't comfortable. Once we were in the venue, everything was fine. As soon as we come back out again and making our way back to the station, same thing again.
Yeah.
Even if we did take the long way around.
Fuck you. But no, it's true. It's true. And like Bradford is well known for, there's bits of Bradford don't go to. You just don't go to. The police won't go there. Nothing. You know, and it's run by Sharia law, and it's like, what's going on with this country when we can't go to bits of our country? You know, and it's the same like anywhere. It's across the world. You know, you get bits where you just can't go to anymore, and it's. Yeah. I'm sorry, but London, Sadiq Khan, that place has gone downhill fast.
Yeah, I mean, places like if I was to go back to War of the Worlds immersive experience again, or to the O2, I'll go them places. But that's it. I draw the line anywhere else. I won't go into London no more.
Well, I promised Rachel I'd take her up there and do the nighttime sightseeing tour, you know, where you go around Westminster and up past Big Ben and the Palace and everything like that. But even I'm like, I don't know anymore. It's just not well, it's not safe. It's not safe at all, you know.
We used to go down and take people down to the theatres in the theatre district. And I used to hate it. We used to park up the coach, and my dad always knew where to park.
Yeah.
And he would say, right, well, we'll park along this bit. And it used to be you could go along the embankment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Sadiq Khan became mayor and he got rid of it. You're not allowed to park on the embankment anymore. Well, where can we park now then? You'll have to go to the coach parks. And then you go to the coach park and they want 50 quid to park up for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, stop that. And my dad would find somewhere else to park instead. And you just didn't feel right parking in those areas. And you always ended up staying with the vehicle. You couldn't go off for a walk anywhere because you didn't feel safe.
I will say one thing I will say for a lot of these gangs in London. If you're local and you know some of them and you get on with them, you won't get any shit. You won't get any shit. They'll leave you alone, and they will be your best mate. Trust me, I've got some good friends who were, probably still are, members of certain gangs, and if you get on with them, they're good lads. They're good people to have around anyway. You know, I don't want nothing to do with that lifestyle or culture or anything. So, and I'm glad I left London, but I'm still friends with these people now. You know.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's just got us here on the show are known for turning around and saying almost all politicians just do it for that, and they don't give a rat's ass about me, Wayne, you lot. Nobody. All they care about is the almighty dollar, the almighty pound, and how much they can screw out of us next year. And that's exactly what's being done. It's rinse, wash, rinse, repeat, and it's just doing it again and again and again. And it doesn't matter what new face you get in there; they're doing the same old crimes. You need to get rid of the whole fucking lot and start again with real, honest people. You know, I'm not talking us, but people like us, honest people.
The Dark Mirror Party.
Like me, the Dark Mirror Party, fuck yeah! But you know, it needs honest people. You know, it's got ridiculous and honest people who would turn around and say, "There's fucking UFOs." Get with it. Stop being so stupid. Stop beating around the bush. Stop
Yep.
talking out of your asses and saying, "Oh, the people aren't ready for it." Yes, we fucking are. Jesus.
Why
Sorry,
do you
mate.
think we've been pushing? Why do you think we've been pushing for it for so long?
You know, and you've got the likes of that idiot that's in charge of our country and that Watson that's in charge of that country. Oh. I thought Trump was going to be a bit. I was going to, didn't I? I said I thought he might do some good stuff, and he has done some good stuff. But all this trying to take over certain countries and this, that, and the other, I'm like,
I don't know. I'm part of me says I'm not going to read into that too much because I think it's very similar to what he said during lockdowns when he said about they were talking about how a disinfectant can kill the virus.
Yeah.
And he turned around and said he looked at one of his science advisors and
yeah, I
said,
remember.
would we be able to develop something like on that sort of lines? And straight away they jumped on him and said, he's talking about us injecting disinfectant into us. We're like, no, that's not what he said. They misconstrued it and they edited that section of the speech and put it onto social media to make him deliberately look bad.
Yeah.
But when you're watching it live and he says it, it made sense.
Yeah.
And so, of course, could this all be similar to what happened with that incident? That people have misconstrued what he has said and got it all twisted in the wrong way? Maybe he was talking about working relationships with Canada that would make it feel like Canada was the 51st state and someone has blown it out of proportion and made it look bad.
Possibly, but I tell you what, I do admire his stance on immigration. I do. Yeah. I do. He's gone, no, we're not having these gangs here. Fuck them off out of it. And he's done.
Well, I mean, when you think of it, you've got an American state one side of Canada and then the rest of the USA on the other side.
Yeah.
So, and you've got Canada in between two states. So when you're looking at the working relationship between United States and Canada, it would be as if Canada was a 51st state because he's talking about trade relations. They're next door neighbours, the same as what we are with Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. You know, when you've got a trading relationship with a country that borders yours, it would be as if it was part of that country. So somewhere along the line, somebody's misconstrued what he has said and said that to make him look bad.
I still say vote Dark Mirror because I'm telling you what, if we got in, we'd be telling the truth about fucking everything. We wouldn't mince words and be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. No.
See,
no.
Sam agrees. The media are wanting to make it look this way because they do want him to be the enemy.
Oh, yeah.
They want to make him look bad. So
I'd love for an honest politician to come forward and say about the UFO and other agendas and say, actually, this, and this. Oh, yeah, we put loads of drones up there to spread misinformation, so you'd all think it was this, that, and the other. But what you didn't know is whilst all our drones were up in the sky, there was actually real UFOs floating about as well. And that's why we did it, so you didn't know. That'd be nice.
Oh, Sam, I'm not sure why that's doing that. Because if you share it directly from this live, it should take you to this live.
Let me have a look.
I mean, Sam made a comment. Sam made a comment earlier on about exploration of our seas, but that's the reason. This is one of the theories as to the reason why NASA stopped exploring the oceans. Before NASA went into space, they were searching the oceans. And they found something that took them out of the oceans and into space.
Think the abyss.
And now all of a sudden, it's UAPs coming out of the sea off the coast of California and so on.
How long ago did we do a show where we reported about that underwater base that's just off the coast of California and you could see it on Google Maps? You could just see a couple of pillars.
Yep.
It was years ago, wasn't it?
Yep.
We said it was going to happen.
And then last year they started talking about UAPs coming out of the sea. Yes, we mentioned that.
Yeah. See, the thing is, it's like we've said on here before. 20 years ago, we were the fringe society. We were the tinfoil hat brigade, you know, and nobody would listen to us. And now it's coming out more and more and more and more and more and more and more. People are starting to go, do you know what? They're fucking right. And all the Bobberments are starting to panic because they can no longer poo-poo, ridicule, or what do they call it now? They don't call it assassinate them or off them. What do they call it? Is unalive them. What a ridiculous term. But and no more people can really be unalived because social media. Too many things can be filmed, kept, sent all over the world, and they can't stop everything. So, you know, it's got daft now. And the whole world's got to the point where it's like, we know they're here. We fucking know they're here. Everybody, my cat sat right here. She knows they're real. Ghost downstairs. She knows they're real. Wayne's dog knows they're real. You know, but all the Bobberments are going, oh, I don't think they're ready for it yet. No, you're bullshit, because you're trying to get the tech and you're trying to screw loads of things out of people from other planets who've got way more intelligence than you give them credit for. And you think you're very savvy and you're very sly and you're going to get all this tech and this, that, and the other for fuck all. You're not. You're really not. And that's why you're doing this. And that's why you're holding out. Because we'll get the infinite energy engines, we'll get the 0 point engines, all this sort of thing. And where do the energy giants go? Who've got their hands in a lot of the Bobberments' pockets, and vice versa. That's why it's not being done. Everybody's ready, everybody knows they're there, but because of the almighty dollar,
it's the same with all of this business with climate crisis and all that. Oh, we need to cut down our CO2. Yeah, go ahead. Cut out our CO2 and see what happens.
Mm.
And I watched a video the other day. There's a big building has been built in Iceland, and it sucks the CO2 out of the air.
Well, I went to Iceland the other day, and I bought some chips, and I hadn't seen this thing.
The country. They built a giant scrubber. And this sucked in all the air. It sucked in all the air, took out the CO2, so it filtered it all out. And I'm like, yeah, great. So what a great idea this is. Build all these giant scrubbers all over the world, take out all the CO2, and then watch all our plants and trees die.
You've got to have a bit of CO2. You can't be totally CO2.
You have to. The more CO2, the better, because plants need CO2 for photosynthesis. And without photosynthesis, we can't breathe because oxygen will be stopped.
Yep.
So why are they deliberately trying to cut out CO2? Because without it, our plants cannot live.
What, changing the atmosphere slightly? Why now? What now? Why?
Well, they wouldn't change the atmosphere slightly. It would be catastrophic if they cut out all the CO2. We'd be knackered.
Why on another planet? Why would you want to change the atmosphere?
Exactly. Terraforming.
That's what we've spoken about before.
Yeah.
There you go. Sam says we think most people are paid off to not talk. I completely agree. They're either paid off or offed, or it's getting to the point you can't really off them anymore, but you can silence them in various ways. Yeah. The people I used to watch on YouTube, and we speak about this off air, there's people I used to watch on YouTube, and Josh does, and Wayne does, and you can tell when people have been got, or got at, or got to. You can tell, because they go from being how we are, terraforming, exactly, Eric. They go from being how we are, straight talking. We don't make any money at this. You know, if this was my job, God, I'd love to do this as a job, but you know, we don't make any money at it, and which is a sad thing. But we tell the truth. We say what's on our minds. We do our research before we start spouting about crap. We do our research, and trust me, I do a lot of. In the week, I go down various rabbit holes and look at things. Wayne gets his hands made orange. Sorry, but see, Wayne's forte is ghosts and the paranormal. However, I think it was myself that got him into the UFOs and stuff, so he likes this stuff now as well. But we do, and Josh does as well. Between us, we all have our own forte. Josh is the cryptid guy, I'm the UFO guy, and Wayne is the ghost guy. But we do our research. That's why the team's a fucking brilliant team, because we all have our thing. However, you watch what's happening, and you watch what's going on, And if you know where to go and which rabbit holes to go down, you'll see stuff that'll make your hair curl. Fuck if I had hair. And you'll also see things that you'll just look at it and go, fuck off. No way, bollocks.
Yeah.
And AI is a bad one for that. AI is going to screw everybody. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah, I think at the moment, AI is obvious, but it will get to a stage where the AI of the future will surpass the AI of now, and we will be going, wow.
Yeah.
And it will be very difficult to look directly at it and go, that's AI.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to tell. It would only be the digital imprint that's left on the footage itself. When you look into the back, going through the back door of that footage, you will see a digital imprint that states that's AI. But it's a lot of investigating into that to see that. So just by looking at it face to face with that video, you would go, oh my God, is that real? You wouldn't be able to tell whether that was real or not. At the moment, you still can. I've been patting Donald Trump's back.
Wayne's frozen. He's back again. One thing I'd like to say, if you don't mind, as you know, guys may know, I love Terry Pratchett's Discworld, and I've got all the books. I met him. I've got signed books and this, that, and the other. I know a hell of a lot about Discworld. I went on to the Ankh-Morpork Times, which is on Facebook, and it's run, by and for lovers of the Discworld. In one of his books, he does a thing called GNU, and that was about when they made the clacks. And GNU means just keep the message in the line, so it permanently circulates, a bit like telegraph system. And keep this GNU means you keep a name or a thing in the system that keeps it going forever, so that forever there. They do a thing for people who've passed, and I didn't know this, and I went on there. This is it, the Ankh-Morpork Times, News of the Disc. And I didn't know that they did this thing, the GNU, and I started reading some things about it. I was like, oh my God, they do. Now, and this really, really got to me and touched me, this. I'll show you. As you all know, my mum died. And I asked them to do a GNU for my mum. Yeah, so it's only a few days ago. Nearly 350 people have commented on it. They've taken time out to see that and keep my mum's name going. And that, from me, I just want to say, you don't know what that means to me. And I bawled my eyes out when I saw that. And I'm getting emotional now feeling it. Just the fact that people out there who don't know my mum, don't know me, took time out to spread a bit of love and to spread her name. Thank you. And I'll be eternally thank you. So thank you, guys. Anyway, sorry, I just needed to say that. So that really meant so much to me. So yeah. Anyway, back to what we were talking about, corruption and UFOs.
Yeah. We're almost out of time now.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah, we are. Well, we did start 5 minutes late, so we'll go with 5 minutes.
But yeah, the problem is, it's always going to be the case. Is like we've said, they'll slowly drip feed it, and then when it gets to a height, they'll then cut the feed.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if they get more and more people's attention, and so they've built it up. They've got more and more people's attention, and then they cut it. And then all these people go, oh, well, what's happened? Right, okay, back to day-to-day life. And then it will slowly be drip-fed again. And it will keep building and building again till it gets to a height where more people have started realising, and then it gets cut again. And so on.
Yep. And ad infinitum. It always gets built up and built up and built up when you've got a major thing coming up. Be it an election, be it a celestial event, be it a mass sighting, whatever. These things will build up, and it ends at a crescendo when whatever this big event that this is being used to take the onus away from, this thing will happen at the same time whilst everybody's looking at this thing. So this thing carries on, gets swept under the floor, and then this
get blindsided.
Yeah, exactly. And that, welcome to the world of politics.
Yeah.
Never. The last truthful man anywhere near Parliament was Guy Fawkes, the last honest man. You know, I hope Trump does do a lot of good for them. And I think, quite frankly, over here, we need to get rid of the whole fucking lot of them and start again, because it's corrupt as corrupt can be. In fact, look under the word corruption and you'll see all the last fucking prime ministers of this country for 30 years.
It makes me laugh because they stand there and they go, oh, well, we blame the last government. We blame them. We blame, and it's always the current government blames the last one.
And they're like fucking school kids when you see their question time.
The latest one, when it was, what was it? Oh, they've left us a 22 billion pound black hole, and now it's turned out that the central banking people have turned around and said there was no black hole.
Yeah,
we've seen all the paperwork from the Treasury. There is no 22 billion pound black hole. So they were lying again. What a surprise!
Yeah. It's all bollocks, mate.
It's constant.
They're literally a bunch of school kids.
But this time, it's blatantly obvious. In the past, there've been subtle lies or the slight bending, the slight bending of truths. And it's been a while before people have gone, hang on a minute, this ain't right. And then people have twigged. This time round, within the first 6 months, people are going, you lied to us straight away. We're like, hang on a minute. No, you didn't. You're doing this, you're doing that. And that's not what you said you'd do.
Yeah, exactly.
We won't put up council tax, and now they're putting that up 10%. And it's all these other things, these money grabbing things, and then they're giving it away in other places, in other countries.
Don't even get me started on this shit again. I
mean, I know what we'll send. We'll send 5 billion to India so that they can spend money on their space program. Why? They want a space program. They fund it themselves.
Have you ever had a Vindaloo? There's your space program there.
Just stick me in one of Elon Musk's Starship rockets.
After
a Vindaloo, we'd be off.
I tell you what. On an absolutely personal note, again, this is for everybody, but this is for. I don't trust many people. I only have a very, very small amount of people I can say are real friends. One of them is my co-host and my best friend. Another one is Josh. And I would like to say, over the last couple of years, I'm not going to mention names or anything, but I've had people trying to spread disinformation about Wayne and Josh and have us fall out so that I'll go off and do other things. And I never did. I never took the bait. I never fell for it. And I would just like to say, this young man here is my best friend, and he's been through me. I hope not. He's been with me through thick and thin, through everything. And the other person is my other half, Rachel. She has been there for me when I have been at my lowest and when I've been suicidal. So, it's thanks to these people that I trust, and only these people that I can trust, that I am getting back to being the person that I am, and I can't thank you enough. And I would also like to thank everybody that watches this show for being there, sticking with it, and enjoying it, because we get messages throughout the time saying you do a really great show. You're not afraid to speak your mind and this, that, and the other, and that's what the whole show's about. You've got to have comedy, you've got to have controversialness, and you've got to have a bit of politics, and you've got to have lots of UFOs and lots of aliens. And of course, you ain't going to get it anywhere else without myself or Wayne or the beard himself, Mr. Josh, when he's not.
Yes, the beard.
Yes. So on behalf of everybody who's to do with the show, thank you. I love you guys. And we have our team of elves in the background who put things up and everything, so all of those guys, thank you as well. But yeah, to Wayne, my missus, and Josh, I love you guys to bits. So keep on watching the show and keep on rocking it, because it's going to get better. It's going to get better and more controversial. You never know. We may get swatted live on air one day.
And I'm sitting by a window that leads out onto a street, so someone could take a picture.
I'm one floor up. If I jump out of that window, I haven't poo-picked the garden yet. So if I jump out of that window, I'm going to go straight in a load of ghost turd.
Well, if I go a bit lower down, they'll take out a cactus, so it should be all right. I'll stay down here.
Right. I think, how long have we got left to go? We got about a minute. So, Wayne, is there anything you'd like to talk about or get off your chest? Not that one hair. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
We've got Spook and Ori Events has got an event coming up. We've got two actually. Tell a lie. 2 weeks apart from each other. We're doing an event at Streatham Old Engine in Ely in Cambridgeshire on the 22nd. And at the moment of this month, we've got limited spaces because it's not a very big venue, but we do have a few.
I was drinking.
We do have a few spaces left. So if anybody is interested, they can message me and I can fill them in on the details. And then on the 8th of March, we have been invited to run an event at a venue in Boston, and it's an old disused prison.
You might even see myself and my other half at this one.
And yes, hopefully. We're still waiting for the details to come through because they seem to be a bit reluctant to give us any of the details. Which is annoying us somewhat, considering there's only 4 weeks away before the event itself, and we've got no information on how much they want to charge. All we know is they want us to be there. They've shown us the place via photos and videos, and we're like, yeah, this is a cool place, but that's not the only details we need. We need more details. So if anybody's interested in either of those two venues and events on the 22nd of February or the 8th of March, in 22nd in Ely, Cambridgeshire, and the other one in Boston, Lincolnshire, let us know and we'll sort something out.
And before we disappear, Wayne, one thing I need to ask you. When I get married, because I'm going to marry Rachel because I love her, will you be my best man?
Oh, of course I will.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Don't even have to think about that one.
Thank you.
Just don't expect me to do a speech.
Just prop me up when I'm pissed, you know.
I'll just go. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy yourselves.
You lost for words? Never. On that note, everybody who's been joining us across the board on all the platforms we go at, thank you very much for watching. We're always here every Monday, 9:30 at night GMT, 6 hours behind that for Eastern Standard Time. So, and you can always watch us on replay anyway. So we're on YouTube, trying to get this thing put out on TikTok. I'm not quite sure how I add the TikTok on here yet, but I will try this week. Thank you for joining us. We're going to go down many rabbit holes in the week and find more and more interesting stuff to talk about. And if there's anybody out there who's not a complete nutter and would like to join us as a guest, and you know what you're talking about, come and join us. You will be welcome on here as a guest. I'd love to get Elon Musk on here because I actually really like the guy and I love the stuff that he does. So I'd love to have him on here today, but hey, we ain't got any money for that. But Elon, if you're watching, so
you just have to be careful of the 4 fake profiles that he's got on TikTok.
Oh fuck yeah. So on behalf of us all, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week, and enjoy your week. And remember, keep your eyes to the skies. Our email address and everything is down at the bottom there, darkmirrorradioshow@yahoo.co.uk. If you see anything or if you want anything talked about, drop us an email or message myself, Wayne, or Josh, and we will try and talk about it or put your pictures up here. All right. So on that note, we are out of here. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.
Toodles.
How do I stop this? Oh, I do this, don't I? I know why. I tell you what I will do. Royce, so you think about it. I'll put video back up there, and I will stop this, and I'll play a video. Bye-bye, guys.